Welcome to After Hours. It's real. It's happening.
It's so real. Welcome to the After Hours podcast. I'm Alyssa.
I'm Jasmine, and this is the podcast where you get yours.
After Hours. Welcome to the After Hours podcast. This is a dating and relationship and just life podcast. And we are going to start every single one of these episodes giving a little life update on our dating experiences and what's going on. And then after we share our whole updates, we're going to be reading some Reddit stories, which is like my favorite thing in the whole world.
It actually is.
And yeah, I love a Reddit story. And then we're going to get into some advice or confessions. We have some really great ideas to get everyone involved in the podcast so that we can build a really fun community. And this has been our little baby for so long.
So long. Like, it's actually crazy. So it's happening. It's really happening. And you can tell, I keep looking at behind Alyssa because she thought she was doing something.
Boy, did I. So when we, and now I think I need to keep it as a bit because when I was buying my little neon signs, my A and what should be an O, but is actually an H, I really I put them up and I was like, these are so cute. This looks so great. I got these on Amazon and they were so cheap and I love them. And then I put it up and I had the H illuminated also. And Jasmine was like, what does the H stand for?
I was like, I was picking my brain and I was like, I feel like I'm going to be like dumbfounded or like when she says what it is. But then I was like, I think she meant for the podcast. Also it's reading as HA to me right now.
Really? Okay. Well,
we're having a really great time.
Make sure it's flipped the right way in video to make sure that it looks okay and it looks like, at least it looks like AH and not HA. Cause what?
I literally thought for a second that she was just like, ha, this is funny. I was like,
insane. And I have been really overwhelmed. There's been a lot of wedding stuff going on in my life right now. My sister's getting married in 17 days. We just finished our bachelorette party. I know. I can't take it.
Time is a contract I don't understand because what?
I don't get it. And so it's been a lot of really fun work, but my brain has felt like literally mashed potatoes for the past couple of months. That's what I'm gonna blame this on, but I think now I get to just keep it as a bit because this is insane. What the hell is wrong with me?
I think but it kind of works. It kind of works because we're playing on the word hours. Like after hours.
Yeah.
So, but it is.
And I will also say for those who don't know who I am or what my background is, I am a sex and relationship coach. I am in an ASEC certification program to be a sex educator. And I've been learning about sex education for the past 4 years almost. So I am steeped in so much information about sex and relationships. And I have one-on-one clients. I've done a TEDx talk. And so I wanted to be able to have an outlet to have a little fun with that information that I'm sharing and also get into some of my personal life because I never get into my personal life. I realized when we had done sort of test episodes that I never really talk about my personal life online to that degree, ever. So this will be a fun opportunity to do a little more of that.
Yes.
Jasmine and I have known each other since 2020.
Yes.
Early 2020.
Right? Yeah, because you came out in 2020.
So we've known each other for 5 years, which is crazy.
Insane. And I am an actress, content creator, funniest person I know. And that's my credibility. But also, I am 37 years old and still single and still very immersed in the dating world and just having that perspective, especially from a Black woman perspective as well. I feel like it's just going to be a fun, it's going to be a fun time. And for being as best friends as we are, it's just going to be funny, informative, and you guys are going to be kind of in the know. Which, as just like you, no one actually probably cares about my personal life, but I don't talk about my personal life a lot because I feel like I'm a little too nice sometimes to the men that I am dealing with, and then it's time to stop.
Yeah. It's so tough. I have like such a hard time with this because there's a part of me that's very like wants to be very compassionate towards men, because I think not all men, but some of them are going through a very unique period of like being heavily targeted. Like they are public enemy number one. And for some of them, they don't deserve it. The problem is for a lot of them, they really fucking do. And so it's like, it's tough. And the conversation that I'm always having about men and like the whole thing with like the loneliness epidemic and the whole thing, what frustrates me the most is women, minorities of all kinds, have had to like figure it out. Like we had to figure out how to protest to get the right to vote, protest the right to have a bank account. Like we figured out ways to create community within ourselves, within like moms, whatever, so that we felt like we had support from each other when we weren't necessarily getting that culturally or from our partners. Like we figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
So it is frustrating that like now we're dealing with a situation where experiencing this loneliness epidemic, and it feels like so much of the responsibility is still being weighted on women to figure it out and fix it. And I just am like a little bit at my wit's end with that. And at the same time, I can recognize that if we want progress, we can't be like, butting heads constantly.
Yeah.
So
I think the difference is that they are creating community. It's just some of them are very toxic communities. Like they're coming together and they're just thinking everyone else is to blame. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's like there's no progress in that, because I think they're just going to keep pushing. Well, again, some of them are going to keep pushing everyone else away and, just creating even more victims out of themselves where they're not really victims in a lot of the situation.
Yeah. And what's also scary is like when men are in a place where they're feeling victimized, it's like when women feel victimized, we mobilize. When men feel victimized, many times they get a gun and they kill people. Like that's what it feels like. And like that's not totally, obviously that's not true across the board, and that's like not fair across the board, but like it just, there's like a different sort of like tangible fear with it, and I just don't really know what to do. I don't know. So I guess we just like keep dating them and like try to be nice.
Charity.
And
I do a lot of charity. A lot.
Yeah. Speaking of, do you want to talk about your dating life?
Very charitable actions going on over here. And I feel like I keep realizing it. I'm like, oh God, you're so nice, Jasmine. Because even in the way that like I turn men down, it's like a corporate email, but like a much nicer corporate email. Like I put a little like fluff on it, because I'm not the type to, but I'm not but I'm not even the type to ghost people very well. Like unless it's like a mutual, like it seems like it could be, handled decently. Because again, as a woman, even though I'm like 5'9", very hefty, like on that side, like I'm sturdy. Okay. Like I
You're
still
strong.
get scared for like repercussions, and that's insane to me.
Yeah.
But I try to let people down as nice as possible, and I kind of like fluff it up for them. And I'm like, I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you have all the happiness, like all that stuff. I'm always doing that because I'm like, I'm like hoping that transcends something to them. But a lot of hurt men can't really like take that, because they're like, why are you saying no to me? I'm like, because I can, first of all. And then it's just always interesting to see the reaction. So it's either oh my, you dodged a bullet, or it's like, oh, this person is really nice. Like maybe down the line, I'll meet someone I can like connect them. You never know. You know what I mean? I am a charity. I am doing the Lord's work. Okay. You're welcome.
Well, you've had a situation not that long ago where you went out with someone and it didn't work out, and they asked you for your friend's number. Or maybe you didn't go out, but you were talking to him at least. And like then later he was like,
with great haste. Like I literally said that nice little
great haste
with my nice little comfy like corporate, like, so I wish you nothing. And then it was, can I get your friend's number? And I was like, that was wild. But again, as a nice person, I didn't respond to it. I asked her, and she said, I mean, I guess they were whatever. But then his response to that was psychotic. Said I'm the meanest person because he was like, could not handle the rejection that I was giving him. But it was such a nice rejection. So like what essentially this little bit is you're learning women is, we can't win. Just do whatever you want. Then you know what I mean? You can ghost them. You can be, I don't care at this point, because I'm nice as heck when it comes to like rejecting these men. And sometimes they still act up and act out of pocket and act like you are the worst person in the world, and you are not.
Yeah. I know. You're not. And also, if like the answer to somebody who is confused about why you're like, if you're not interested in someone, that's the answer. Like that, it doesn't, you don't actually have to have more reason than that. Like you could just be like, we just didn't vibe.
Right.
And if this person refuses to understand that, then like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
They
Well,
love,
I don't really know what you're supposed to do or say.
they just love, I feel like, hurting their own feelings a lot of times as well.
Yeah.
Again, that answer, me not interested in you, is an answer, is all you need to know. Like, why do you want to be with someone? We
Yeah.
talk about this all the time. Why do you want to be with someone if they're not interested in you? Why do you want to keep pursuing it? Why do you want to, what?
Yeah. Rejection is redirection. Why waste, if someone is saying I'm not interested in you, you should be so grateful that they've let you go and you can like move on and explore somebody else. It sucks.
Such a
like
favor.
it's a bummer to like be told that you are not what they're interested in if you liked them, but also why do you want to date someone who doesn't want to date you back? That's crazy.
Literally.
That is crazy work.
I'm not trying to waste your time. I'm not trying to waste my time. And like my thing now is like all these young men, these young bucks out here, they love me. It's very exhausting. I'm like, listen, do you know how old I am? Age is just a number. I'm like, okay, but like, you know what? Anyway, it is psychotic because they're all saying, oh, like, like the girls my age, they're just not smart. I'm like, that sounds so weird.
Whoa.
Like they're not intelligent.
Also,
I can't have a conversation with them. I'm like, what is happening? Yeah. I don't know if that's what they're trying to like, if they're just trying to impress me by saying that, but a lot of that is what I get when I ask them that question. They just say like, like they're just, it's not the same. I'm like, but you're also a young human being. I'm like, are you trying to be serious? Are you trying to, so it's almost like I'm giving like a mentor role and they're like my mentee. And I'm like,
right. I also am curious about any person who does the thing where like, whether it's their ex or just like their previous dating partners, where it feels impossible to me that every person that you date is crazy. Sometimes it's you. Like if every person that you're talking to is just like not intelligent enough to hold a conversation, I'm going to hold your hand while I say this with a napkin in between. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. I don't believe that that's true. Like, I just don't believe that every person, every woman that you've spoken to is not intelligent enough for you.
What that reads to me as,
where are you?
It reads as like,
leave the middle school parking lot then. I don't know.
It reads as that they're just
about?
not interested maybe in what you're saying, which is, I feel like, a clear sign of maybe just like not the right person. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe it's just, you can't have conversations with them because they probably don't care about what you're saying.
I just can't find anyone intelligent. And you're like, well, maybe you should try not being the most boring person alive. Ever thought about that?
Or maybe just like expand your horizons. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of men can be one track minded. Like there's a one, like, this is it. I'm interested in this. Like we love variety. Okay. Your girls are out here loving lots of things. If you can only talk about one thing very passionately, we love that for you. Love that you have that one singular hobby, but we are multifaceted, a lot of us. So there's a lot that needs to happen, in my opinion. That's my experience with a lot. I'm like, because these are all test subjects. This is for the plot. I told Alyssa when we first started this, I was like, you're going to make me get out of my house. And I've been on more dates and like had more like interactions since we started doing this. And it's so interesting to me because I mean, I'm not, obviously I am dating with intention and looking for love, but I am also like kind of dissecting male behavior.
Yeah. It's also for research. It's also for scientific purposes. For science. Okay. So have you had any recent dates that are interesting?
So I have one today. Yes. With a guy I met over the weekend, a young man.
Okay.
Who literally looks like my ex, is also like involved in religion like my ex. And remember I saved my ex from a cult? Do you remember that? Remember that brief moment where I saved him from a cult? You're welcome. We lived together during that.
Is this that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes, I do remember this.
So he looks like him.
Oh my God.
Looks like him.
I thought you were talking about a different ex.
I know.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Yes. Looks like him. Has the same job as the other same named man. So JJ. Both Jades.
Interesting.
Like they're like similarities are coming from like all, I'm like, I don't know what to do with all of this.
Interesting.
Super nice. But again, everyone is so like, no one's horrible so far.
Yeah.
Super nice. I'm trying to do this with an open mind. You know what I mean? That's just always, I try to go into it, at least go on the first date and then go from there. But again,
how did you meet?
I went out with Kelsey the other night. So I knew that they were going to be all young. And I was like, oh, she's going to be a grandma, Jasmine. But I was just like really good looking that night.
Yes,
you know?
Yeah.
Flock. But yeah. And I was like, fine. I was like, do you want to take me on a date? Because that's my new thing. I'm like, I don't want to beat around this bush. Do you want to take me on a date or not? I say it nicer, guys. Don't worry. Like, I'm not aggressive, but I am like, okay.
Do these guys ask for your Snapchat?
Absolutely not. If they do that, I go, you can go right out the door.
I know that this is a thing now that guys ask for us, like the young guys ask for Snapchat.
Yeah. No, if they ask me for my Snapchat, I would just not respond and turn away.
I would just assume that they're gonna like just send me an unsolicited dick pic.
I don't want it.
If you're asking for Snapchat, I don't want it.
I don't want it. I'm good. I'm Gucci. Thank you very much.
Like literally so good on that.
Yeah. What? Yeah, no. That's, and I think that they can read that because I'll start any conversation with like how old I am. I'm like, do you
I am Jasmine, I'm 37.
Do you know how old I am?
It's like, you know that scene, it's like a meme now from Titanic when she's like, it's been 84 years. That's you.
Like literally, my friends are here like, Jasmine, you gotta stop. I'm like, no, I need them to know. Like in for me, I need them to know. Like it's very important. I know I look good. Calm down. Like I'm black. I don't crack. I won't for a while. All right. I know I look better than half of these 20-year-olds. I know this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Facts.
Doesn't mean that I'm not actually 37.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Is like at the end of the day, you're not interested in like playing beer pong and
that's
waiting.
A lie, because I do love beer.
Oh my God, really? Okay, so
I'm really good at it. Okay, that's why I'm competitive.
I'm so bad at it. This has been an interesting shift in my current dating life because my boyfriend is sober and I am obsessed with it. I love it. Okay. I love it, and I didn't realize how badly I needed to date someone who wasn't going to force me to play drinking games until now. Okay. Because I'm 31.
Correct.
No. And I don't really want to spend time walking on floors that are sticky anymore.
Right.
I'm good.
No, like that's not, I'm not interested in that, but I'm just saying like I do love a good game of beer pong, but I'm not actively searching it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not actively trying to be in a frat house. I did that already.
Oh God. Let me let my dog out of the room because my mother just came home.
Good job, Mom.
Okay. That ex, by the way, that I'm referring to, that I think you understand who I'm referring to, has a girlfriend now.
Same name? Ex?
Yes.
Okay. We have a lot of inside lingo that we can. I thought.
Yeah, we do.
I thought
so. And I'm pretty sure it's who we think it is, but I can't tell. But he posted something that was like, blah, 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 my girlfriend. And I was like, oh my God, this is really exciting. I'm happy for him. Like, you could hear her voice and she sounds like she's like from New Jersey and like and she didn't want to be on camera. Clearly, or maybe he didn't want her to be, whatever. I think this is like a great situation. It's not my business. And when I saw it, I was like, okay, this seems great. I'm happy for him.
You're always happy. I feel like you're always happy for your exes. I mean, I feel that is such like a mature. Okay, calm down. She's giving a face if you're listening to this. Like in general, I think you are one of the nicer. Again, like I do charity work and you are really nice to all the people you've dated.
Well, because I like them as human beings,
right?
Obviously, you know, like because I dated them. There is one ex who's like actually on my shit list, but you're like taking stock of like the molding in your apartment as I'm saying this.
It's like, really, I have really great beams in here.
You do. Yeah, he's on my shit list for sure. But I still like I want him to be happy and fine. Yeah. And
we're like really nice people. You know what I mean? We wish
we're so nice
because that energy, that like negative energy, like to wish someone unwell, who has time for that?
Yeah, and I also, again, it feels like a similar thing of like if you're telling me about all of your exes and talking about how awful they are, then it's probably you know? And at the same time, there are things that like exes have done in the past that when I explain them to my current boyfriend, he's like, Alyssa, what the fuck? And I'm like, I know. Like I had an ex once forget my birthday. That wasn't great. Stuff like that.
That would send me for a loop. You know, I'm very particular about my birthday.
Yeah, that was not cool. I had an ex. I don't even want to like give full information because I don't want to, if I do, it'll timestamp and then it'll be very clear who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The overarching theme is that I was not a priority to these people. And And, you know, sometimes I think that that's just more than anything, it's like a sign of, um, this person, we're like just not each other's person, obviously.
Thank you. That's such an important, I want to like underscore, I want to highlight this because I
Yeah.
feel like we as a society, when it comes to dating, forget that like people will make time. And you've told me this so many times. People will make time for the person if they actually like them, if they do want to be with them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's this difference of like, oh, you know, he's too busy. He's too busy for you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the
You
thing.
aren't his priority because he doesn't like you enough. It sounds bad, but like, listen, it's a
sounds bad,
blessing.
but it's the
Like you said,
truth.
it's redirection. It's redirection to the person that actually does want to make that time for you, who does want to prioritize you, who does want to put you. I feel weird saying on a pedestal, but like, yeah, put me on that pedestal, bitch.
You're like, I feel weird, but that's exactly
But
what it is.
actually, that's what you should be doing. No.
But that's exactly what it is. But like truly, people make time for the things that they want to make time for. And if they don't want to make time for you, that's information for you.
Yeah. And sacrifices. We talked about that already on our like other episodes that you can listen to on the Patreon.
On the Patreon. So yeah, we have episodes that we've recorded of this podcast that by the time we kind of got some other ducks in a row, the life updates that we shared were kind of like old news. And
But still good news.
But still good news. And so instead of getting rid of those episodes completely, we're going to put them on our Patreon. And so they will be Patreon only exclusive episodes, including a drunk episode that we filmed that
we're going to do often.
Yeah, we're going to continue going on little tangents, having unhinged drunk episodes, and those will come out on Patreon at least once a month. So you can go to patreon.com/afterhourspodcast, and that's hours with an O.
Yes.
Not with an H. And you can find all of our Patreon episodes there.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll have all of those uploaded. Yeah, we absolutely do. We'll have some episodes uploaded by the time this one comes up. But yeah, so okay, so the general dating update for you is we're going on a date tonight.
Yes. I'm like struggling, and I was like, I can't wait to talk to Alyssa because I had, if you listen to the other episodes on Patreon, but I'll give you like a brief update. I sent a text to a guy who I've been like on and off weirdly, but like not like it's very, I can't explain what it is for like 3 years. And this last time he came back, I was like, I'm in this era, you know? I mean, I'm in a weird moment, but it's like an empowering moment. And I said, nah, we're not doing this again. And so I sent him a very structured, like my little corporate email of, you know, you can send me an email to my email address explaining why you like what you want, why you think I should give you another chance with someone as amazing as me. And I'll respond to you within 7 to 10 business days if I, you know, deem it accurate enough or well written, whatever. And then I blocked him expeditiously. So he understood what I was putting down. Requesting. I was like, I need effort.
Yeah.
There needs to be effort. There needs to be change. There needs to be like, what's the reason? What is the reason? Like that. You know what I mean? And so
this was a literal email request.
Right. They do it all the time on TikTok. And I'm like, why can't I do this? Like, you see the girls who always say, like, email me, like, and men do this well thought out, like, email back. And I'm like, why can't I deserve that effort?
Absolutely, you do.
It did take him a while, but this weekend, he did write an email with the title, like the, what is it called? What is that? The subject, wifey. And I'm not going to lie to you, that does it for me. The email was not.
He actually didn't need to write anything.
There was nothing else that needed to be said. Just put wife, okay? Maybe a picture of a ring, and then we're good. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But was the email like super like grammatically correct? No, because men. But it's happening. But I understand.
Can't be choosers.
But he was trying to do the funny, like he was responding within the vein that I sent him the text message. So he pretended like it was like an interview, and like he wanted to interview for a permanent position with me.
I love it.
So I think I'm going to respond with a couple more questions. You know, we can't make it super, super easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, absolutely not. So I'm going to respond with a couple more questions because there's just something about him. And all my friends are like, Jasmine, I know they get really mad about it, but I'm like, I can't explain it.
Yeah.
And I, you know how they say the whole thing about like, if you're getting butterflies, it's more anxiety or something. There's this thing that they're saying now on TikTok where it's like, if you like have this feeling about like a guy, you like get more anxiety. It's more anxiety and you should run. And I don't get butterflies. I really just get like a calm, like
Interesting.
like I don't want to say L, but I do have love for this person because I am a caring human being. But
Okay.
there's just so much,
Okay.
like, because of the person I am and my empathy that I have, like, for just human beings in general, like, I just have a lot of care for this person, and to see that he's, like, kind of realizing that he needs to put in work on himself in order to be a person that he can, have someone else in his life that maybe cares about him. I don't know. I probably should go talk to my therapist.
I just don't want him to have put in the effort this one time and have that be like enough to propel him through more of your time and energy than he deserves for the one piece of effort. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I want, like, it's great that he did that, and that's not the only time he's going to need to, like, actually put an effort into all of this.
Yeah. So there's going to be an effort question in the follow-up email because I'm still not going to unblock him. And then we'll see if he responds to that.
I love it. I love that you block.
Oh, absolutely. I was bye.
So good.
And so it just makes it a little bit more interesting because, like, I don't want to say I'm comparing my feelings, but I feel like a little bit I am, because I know what I want, and futuristically, I feel like I could kind of see if I could be with someone down the road, like, pretty fast. I'm pretty good at gauging that. Like, I can get vibes and energy and stuff like that. And this one, I feel like, I don't know, this one might talk to you outside of this, so I don't give too much away. A little bit, the religious is a little bit, it's a lot.
Concerning.
So,
okay.
but again, super nice person. So it's like, everyone's like, just go. Yeah, but I'm like, okay.
Definitely like give him the shot of going on a date or whatever. But I think the religion thing is going to be an important conversation, because that is like when you think about like where you're going to get married. Are you going to get married in a church, or are you not? When you think about like having children, like if there's a world where he can have his religion and it doesn't feel like you have to so heavily have it be a part of your life, then that's great. But many times with people who are super religious, they like want their kids, baptized or whatever it is, and they want it to be a part of like how they raise their families, which, like, for me that's a problem, but for anyone who's like more flexible, maybe it's not.
Yeah. And I would say I'm like flexible, but I've been around it. So I understand like what you're saying without saying it. So it's like, you could say that I didn't believe, which I mean, I do, but like, if I didn't believe, you'd be okay. But then follow it up with like, but you should, because it's really great. Do you know what I mean? So you're saying something while not saying it, but also saying it very loudly. So it's a very, it's like, in my opinion, and then I flip it and I go, I feel like you would just be better with someone like in the church. You know what I mean? Like, I could see who would be good for you. How do you not see that I'm probably not that person? That's what I literally do that. And I'm like, I mean, I'll go on the date, but I'm like, do you not? I feel like this. Are you?
I love that you said that, because that is how I felt with, like, I mean, I said I was going to be more candid on the podcast, so I feel like I could just say, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Should I? Maybe I'll bleep his name. I don't know.
A little bleep. Is that too much work?
No, it's fine. So when I was dating, well, I don't know, because like people ask me all the time about my relationship with John, like what happened with that relationship. And a part of it was he wanted to have kids in general. I'm not sure if I want to have kids. And he also wants to have children that are raised in the church. And I am like very openly atheist. Like, I do work every single week on a channel that is for atheists. And like my parents are very religious. Like, my sister is pretty religious. I have no problem with people being religious, but it's just not a part of my life. And so it ended up just being something that was like, neither of us felt comfortable compromising on that. Yeah, like, it's like, that doesn't make sense. Actually, I think what we're figuring out is we're not a good fit for each other.
And that's
okay. And it was like, it was sad in some ways. And in other ways, it was also like, okay, now we know and we can move forward. So, I like, you just have to be really clear and open as early as you can with stuff like that, and make sure that this guy is also going to be clear and open as early as you can, because it's like, you don't want to spend. And also, the conversations that John and I had about religion and kids in the beginning of our relationship changed, which is why we dated for like a year and a half. And then it was like this shift in what he was feeling he was going to want for his future. And then that, like, because we had conversations about the kid stuff, especially the kid stuff, before we even started officially dating. And then he ended up sort of like changing his mind. So,
yeah,
you know, it happens, but like being open and honest is important.
it's so important. And like, again, if I'm dating with intention, in my opinion, again, I'm intentional and I'm very fast about it. Like, I'm like, no, good times, because I like I like my time. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Like I can see a lot of times when men especially like to keep busy and they have this like pressure, which again, the societal pressure to do everything and be providers and all that. And I get it. But like, if you're telling me like, I don't like to sit down. I don't like to sit still. I like to be doing. I'm like, oh, so you don't like to like have a moment. You don't like to be with yourself. I enjoy myself so much. And I know that's come with a lot of growth and a lot of time, but I'm like, everyone, as a lot of girls are saying now, you're competing with us, like our own self. Like I am so great. I love myself so
like
much. You're competing with me, no one else, because I have to
have more fun with you than I do on my own. And that's hard to do.
Yeah. And sometimes we can carry those, like our funness and our amazingness into a date. And a lot of people, online are saying, it was fun because you were there. Like you held it, you carried it, you were having fun because
right.
You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to like dig past it a little bit. And I think asking like those questions, even on a first date, I don't care. I'm like, I'll ask him if I feel so inclined to ask the questions, like if there is some kind of connection, which again, super sweet guy. So I'm like, why not just get the questions out and expedite this? Save us both some time.
Yeah.
Save us both some time and use some money. Okay. You're welcome. In this economy,
I feel like I've gotten that question before of like, when's the appropriate time to talk about like the serious life stuff? I'm like, immediately. Why would you waste your time? Why would you waste their time? And also, like, as we get older too, I think that the pace of dating also changes. Like when I was young, and then even like my sister, she's engaged now, she's getting married in whatever 17 days. When she met her fiance, she was in college. And so like they dated for 4 or 5 years before they got to this point. And I just feel like when you're in your 30s, that time frame shrinks like significantly. Like I know people in their 30s who met a person and got engaged in the same year. Like it just happens because I think you know yourself more and you are able to, yourself, you've had enough experience dating so that when you meet someone that you're like, I actually think this is my person, you can identify it a little clearer and a little faster. And so have those conversations immediately. Why not? Why wouldn't you want to find out as early as possible if this person is in or out of the running?
Right.
If that's the kind of dating you're doing. Like some people are just trying to date to experience and have fun, and like it's not that serious, or maybe you're not sure what you're looking for or whatever. That's different. But if you are looking to settle down, if you're looking to like find a long-term partner, ask all the serious questions immediately.
Expeditiously, without question.
Expeditiously.
Seriously. Like, I think it's necessary, especially, at this age. I'm like,
I know. I don't have the fucking time.
I don't. I'll come with like a notepad tonight. I'm like, so.
I'm going to ask you a series of yes or no questions.
Yes. We'll just get this right out of the way. I could do it right before. We can do it before we order anything too. So that way, again, if you want to save some money, I'll just walk out.
Right. Exactly. What are some of your non-negotiables?
I thought about this. I mean, human rights, is really big. Like you can't be racist.
Right.
Can't call me colored.
Have people called you that, like in real life?
I've been called it, yeah. But I was talking about like how he likes colored. You remember that one? That was one of the dates. We talk about that on one of the episodes. The older episodes.
We did. It'll be on the Patreon.
I don't know. I feel like you have to have, I don't want to say it's a non-negotiable because that sounds, but like I do need you to be more than one track minded when it comes to like something that you like hobbies wise. Like you have to have a lot of things, because my mind is like so all over the place that it's like weird that I'm like, how can you only one thing, just one, and throw it all your eggs into like one basket? I'm like, I need you to be a little bit multifaceted. You got to be able to keep my attention. So that's just something for me personally. I need that in order to be interested and stay interested. I don't like smokers. I mean, not like that. Like, I think you guys are great. Not for me. Because I can't
That's
stand
fair.
the smell of smoke. It's I don't know if I'm, like,
Yeah.
allergic. It's a lot. I would say vegan.
Okay. No
I love
problem.
you. I love you.
I love you, and we're life partners in a different way, so that's
Correct.
okay.
And it's not like I won't eat it, but I'm like, I don't know if because I guess it depends on what kind of vegan.
I feel like
Because sometimes
it's the
that's
kind of
a
thing where,
religious
like,
thing too. Like, that can be a little
yeah,
aggressive. They, like, look at you some type of way, and I'm like, I'm eating
vegans can be a little
I'm eating chicken.
yeah, it can be a little yeah, yeah. And I think you're the kind of person where you're like, you cannot live off of bread alone. Like, you need
No,
variety,
I do love
you
bread.
need a little something. I love bread. And actually, I probably could live off of bread alone.
I
But
could eat
you
my
know.
vegan food. Listen, girl, I had some cashew cheese the other day.
Ooh, was it
It
good?
was
Was it yummy?
delightful. It was delightful.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
Progress. But I don't know. I feel like I've always thought about this. And I'm like, is there any like hard, not like non-negotiables? I think it's just the smoking
Yeah. Yeah.
is like the hardest. And then obviously human
For
rights.
me.
Like you have to actually like me as a person, everything about me. Like you have to like women, black people,
Mhm. Mhm.
tall
That was
people.
one of the things in That was one of the things in an earlier episode where when we were giving dating updates, you were like, "So my For You page has been showing me these videos that are like, date someone who likes you."
Mm.
And I was like, "What were you doing before?"
You
And
know, I think
you
it's like the
know.
idea of me is a lot that people look at. Like they like the idea of who I could be, but they don't actually know or like me. Because that's another thing we talked about. Like
Mm,
them just like surface level. Like a lot of people look like a month and be like, wait, what do you do? You have
right.
family? Like it's a surprise to them. Like, because a lot of people don't in this day and age. I'm talking about friends and relationships. They don't ask about you a lot. Like there's no
Mhm.
follow up question. It's a lot of me in this society, which is again I'm totally used to that, like across the board. But I think a lot of people forget that there's another person that on the other side that they're, conversing with and trying to build a relationship with. So if you don't ask questions about them, some people won't just give it up right away. And that's me.
Mhm.
Like I've always
Mhm.
had this like I'm a listener type of human being on my face, tattooed across. Like people in the grocery store will just come up to me. I'm like, I didn't
Yeah.
ask for this, but sure, go ahead. You know what I mean? And like, so there's that
Yeah.
reciprocating back and forth, I think helps you actually know the person that you think that you like. And if you might want to do that earlier on,
Yeah.
not wait and be like, oh,
Yeah, I mean, when we're on dates, you're interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you. Like, it's all dates are is like just trying to figure out if this person is a good fit for you long term. Like, do they make you happy? Are they going to be a person who will continue to make you happy for like the long run,
mm-hmm,
whatever that means for you in that moment? But like, it's not, I don't know, it's just like not rocket science. And I feel like there's so much of this many times when people, excuse me, ask me for, I'm going to say that again without a burp in it. Many times when people are asking me for like dating advice, a lot of the time my answer is like, stop playing it cool. Like, actually, you playing it cool is ruining your opportunity for that person to get to know you and for you to get to know that person. Like, there is no point in like waiting hours to text this person back, or like just don't play games, stop playing it cool. It's not worth it. Like, because then once you actually meet someone that you like, you want to show them who you actually are. And like by doing the games and like the mind tricks and whatever, it's
mm-hmm.
like you have now pushed who you truly are so far out of frame that they're gonna have to get to know you all over again. And it's just like, why? Like, just be your full self from the jump, and it'll be so much easier and so much more fun. Like, the person I'm dating now is very like, we're very from the start, it's been like no games and no like trickery in any way. And it's, I think, made us very close very quickly. And like, I guess I'll give the abridged version of my little update, which is I met someone on a dating app. We had matched in 2021 and didn't actually talk back then, but we started talking in, I think it was early this year, because we were supposed to go on our first date in
February.
February. And I ended up getting the flu, and that he lives in LA. So while I was visiting, I got the flu, and that didn't work out. So we just started talking all the time, and we were on FaceTime with each other for hours and hours and hours every single day. And like very quickly became very, very close. And I have never felt so like loved and seen by a person in my life. We have a lot in common, and he just like makes me laugh all the time. I've been writing down the funny things that he says, and for his birthday, which is next weekend, I made a book of all of the funny things that he says in like meme format. It's really cute, but he's just like such an amazing person. And I literally feel like I have to pinch myself every day because I'm like, I can't believe, you know what? I actually saw, do you know Levi and William on TikTok?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He reminds me a lot of William.
Okay.
Because he has this like very, like he has like a softness to him around me specifically, where he's just so kind. And like, I've never had anyone, like he'll do stuff like if we're like, his family lives in Long Island, so when he's come to visit me, he'll stay with his family in Long Island, or he'll come and stay here. But there have been times where like we'll meet in the city. He'll drive me all the way back up to my house, which is an hour and a half out of the way, drop me off and then drive home. Like he's done that before, and he doesn't even think twice about it. It's like the level of care that he has for me is so beyond, especially because I've been in relationships where over and over again I was so clearly not the priority.
I literally remember you asking. You're like, "Is this too much to ask for?" Like, you would ask me that all the time. I'm like, "No, no."
Yeah, and it's like I've never felt like I've never felt cared for like that ever in my life. And so I feel very grateful, and I'm really excited about him and like what's happening.
I know I get to meet him, which is the final test. No, I'm just
But everyone who's met him so far has really loved him, and that makes me feel really good too. So we'll see. But he's really nice, and he's really cool and sweet, and he's gonna like love you, and you're gonna love him. I know.
Yes, we're putting a lot of pressure on him to find me a man as well.
Yeah.
Listen, put the pressure on your friends, folks, okay? If they're in relationships, don't let them skate by and be all happy, lovey-dovey with you. Tell them that they should be looking out, that they should be on the lookout. There's 2 of them that can look now.
Yes,
figure it out.
Exactly. Eyes are peeled. Yeah, and he has like a lot of friends in LA, so I think it'll be great. And also, I like love that he is not connected to like his friend group is
So
very
separate.
different than like which I really like because there's no like
crossover. We love it.
Separate.
Is Tara coming?
And she has like 2 other birthday parties that day.
She's so popular.
I know. So I don't know. Probably not, but I'm hoping she'll be able to stop by for a little. And yeah, because she also needs to meet him. I think she might be the scariest friend for him to meet.
Yeah, people think that I'm the scariest.
I think she's the scariest.
I'm not.
No, you're super easy. You're super easy and kind. But yeah, I'm excited for you to meet him because literally he was talking to his mom recently, and his mom loves me, and his mom was like, so like how's everything going, like what are you thinking, like what are you feeling? And he was like, I think we both are just gonna work really hard at trying to like not be married by the end of the year. I was like, yeah, that's pretty much where it's at. And I've never said that about any of my partners ever. Like I've never said that. So it's just crazy, and I'm so happy, and I love him,
and I'm also excited to see you. I'm just so happy that you're happy. I know.
I can't.
And then we just like squeeze each other for like about 5 minutes, and then we release.
We'll do that,
and then we say,
"Still, we'll do that." I'm also really excited because I think because his birthday party is going to be full of really interesting people, and like we thrive in rooms with interesting people.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's the Gemini rising in me. Let me tell you, I can blend anywhere. Everyone's like, "Wait, what, Jasmine? Why are you there?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it." One of my favorite Jasmine stories was it? Whose wife were you hanging out with? It was Adam Sandler's wife or something on a boat. You were on a boat, and there was an actor. Who was that?
Dalia. Jeff? Chris D'Elia's wife. We got along swimmingly.
Just so random.
Swimmingly.
Oh my god, it was so funny. And there were like pictures of them somewhere. Like, oh god, it was just so funny.
Yeah. Well, she was a theater major. And like there's a lot of stuff, a lot of social media. Like sometimes you just can't, you don't know people like their entire like lives, obviously. And so like I had no idea. And I was like, oh shoot. And we just had a ball. We were intoxicated, but
I love it.
It was still fun.
And whatever.
So fun.
You were drunk on a boat hanging out with Chris D'Elia's wife. What else is new?
Exactly.
Honestly, very Jasmine story.
I'll just pop up. You know what I mean?
Very Jasmine story.
I go to a lot of places by myself. now these days. Well, because I get invited to like some random events with like TikTok shop as well. But I was like, I feel a little bit more comfortable popping out and going to events by myself or going places. And I think that's like my new thing. I think I want to go to a rooftop one of these days, like just like by myself. Why? Because I can. And just like I keep, because I'll talk to anybody. Will I be friends with anybody?
I love that plan.
No. Talk to anybody, yes. Will you think that we're now best friends? Of course you will.
There was something else I was going to say, something about dating, going places. I don't know.
I'm going to end with, I want to like my last little blurb I want to say before we go to the next thing. I just want to tell you this because I think it's hilarious. I had a guy literally come up in a crowd of people. It was at an event. It was like a creator event. And I'm with my friend, some 2 girls that I just met. And again, crowds of people. But I wasn't even in the mood. I was not in the mood to like be approached by anybody. And apparently I had met him when I was drunk at another event with my friend. Don't remember. This man comes out busting up, right? And he's like, oh, you never responded to my Instagram. And I was like, who? I said, huh? I was like, who is this? Like literally, like you could see it in my face. Like I was like, I don't know. I'm sorry to that man, but I don't know that. Like that's the face I was giving, right? And he was like, and my friend was like, Jasmine, like you met him. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, but you never responded. Like I thought it was a really nice, like thought out, but so we kept going, right? It was like a really thought out, like, but you never responded. I was like, I don't know what he wanted me to say, right? And again, not in the mood. So I'm like, okay. And I thought that was it. No, this man then proceeded to search up said message to me that I did not respond to. Show in front of people are around, Alyssa. I'm like, y'all is really out here. You like really like to hurt your own feelings. That's a masochist right there. Because what? Literally shows me.
Because what?
Shows me the message, and I do not remember. Like literally, I was like, ooh, yeah. Again, and it was like really like you. I just was trying to. Wasn't that? And he was showing people. I said, do you just like to hurt your feelings? You must. You must. And again, I just turned.
Yeah.
You said you're going to make me lasagna. I was like, I was drunk. I tell everyone I'm going to make them lasagna. Do I? No. I just like to brag about how good I am at cooking. Like, I need you to read the room. Read the room.
Yeah, but I mean, if you didn't answer, then...
Get it.
Then that means you were not interested. Yeah.
Please.
Yikes. That's rough. And he came up to you. He should have cut his losses. I'm sorry. Cut your losses.
I didn't even feel bad at that point because I was already irritated. I was standing in a line and I was like, I need you to just... I felt bad, but I was like, listen, you're hurting your own feelings because you could have just like, you could have asked your friend who he knows my friend. Like you could have been like, what? And that whole entire interaction could have been avoided. You could have really saved face, but you really just threw it around here. Like I was going to change my mind in front of all these people.
Yikes. That's rough. That's really rough. I feel bad for that guy.
It's okay. A lot of people talk in our DMs. You know that. A lot of people talk to themselves in our DMs.
Oh my God. There are people that have been talking to themselves in my DMs for, I'm not kidding, 4 years. 4 years.
I love that. At least they can.
Since I did the show.
At least they can entertain themselves.
I mean, whatever. I hope they're enjoying the conversations that they're having. It's crazy. Anyway, should we do some Reddit stories?
I think so. A little Reddit roundup, folks.
A little Reddit round.
This is her favorite. She loves going deep diving. She loves a good deep dive into the Reddit universe.
I do. Okay, so the first one I have, I chose because it has an update from the original post, which I love. And the original post is from March of this year.
Okay, so recently. We love that.
Yes. And the title of so the original was posted to Relationship Advice, r/relationship advice. And the title of it, this is a bad time to not be able to read. The title of it is, my 27 male girlfriend, 28 female, told me she was not going to cheat on me after coming home from a girls' night out, which is weird. So the post says, hi, everyone. Last weekend, I picked up my girlfriend from the bar after she had a girls' night. When we got back to the apartment, I carried her up the stairs, as in her words, a princess should not have to walk. As I carried her, she said, I would never cheat on you. You're too good for that, and gave me a kiss. I didn't think much of it at the time because she definitely drank a lot that night, but I've been having trouble getting that out of my head. How do I decipher that statement? I mean, there are a few cases I can think of. Someone pressured her to cheat. One of her friends cheated on their partners. This is complicated because I have become friends with one of her friends' partners. She was just drunk and not thinking. I have been cheated on before and have expressed to my girlfriend that cheating is the ultimate no-no for me and would cause an instant breakup, so she knows it's a touchy topic. I just want some advice here before I make a big deal out of this because I tend to overthink things. So,
yeah. I mean, he nailed a lot of the like possibilities of why she said it. And I would think, either someone was like, you should cheat, or she was, maybe faced with an opportunity to,
yeah.
or someone did talk about it. Yeah. That's what it's giving. Like in the moment, if she was out with her girls, like someone was talking
Yeah,
about cheating, or, someone was like, oh, that guy's hot, like something like that. And that's why she
there has
said
to be
it.
a reason it was top of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give, I want to cheat on you. It gives
Yeah.
more so like, I would never, like still in her drunk super, like, I would never cheat on my man. Like, he's too, like, I don't think it's serious. Like, she's going to
Especially
contemplate
while you're being carried.
Yes. Well, because she is a princess. Let her be that princess.
True. So in the original post, the top comments are kind of saying the same thing where they're like, if she knows that you've been cheated on before, it makes sense that she would be reassuring you that nothing inappropriate happened. Don't worry about it. She was just drunk and knows that you have a past experience. Like, it's just her drunk brain was just being silly and thought it was caring. And like someone else said, she's probably drunk and it's probably her way of saying she likes you very much.
Absolutely.
So
I'm so scared.
The update. This was 3 days after the original post. A few people have asked for an update, so here it is. Thanks for all the advice. I talked to my girlfriend, and there is good news and bad news. The good news, my girlfriend didn't cheat. When I asked her about the comment, she had absolutely no memory of saying it. The bad news, when I asked why she would say something like that, she admitted that one of the girls she was with, Jane, made out with a guy that was not her boyfriend, John.
And John is the one who he's friends with.
She said that the comment probably came from the fact that the guy that Jane was smashing tongues with had a few friends that were hitting on her friend group, but lost interest after there were no takers. Needless to say, I voiced my concern with the fact that she had told me none of this, and she agreed it was shitty and even looked suspicious. She told me she was looking for a chance to tell me, but I broached the subject first, and she is going to take it easy when it comes to drinking when I'm not with her, for my reassurance and for her hangover. Also, one of her friends got promoted, which is why they were going hard that night. It's not a common occurrence for them. Now, for Jane and John. My girlfriend said that Jane had been texting in the group chat saying that John was acting cold at the start of the week and went radio silent after that. I called up John to double check that he knew, as well as ask if he wanted to get a beer sometime. He agreed and told me that Jane and he had officially broken up and she was a mess, constantly texting and calling him. I also asked him for Jane's side of the story so I can match it with what my girlfriend told me. I'm a bit paranoid, I know. The stories matched up. She had been drinking. A guy came up to her. They flirted. She had made a mistake. As far as Jane, my girlfriend, and her friends, I'm assuming that one of her friends told John. I forgot to ask John, but he is a good guy and has become a good friend to me with my girlfriend's friend group. As of now, Jane hasn't reached out to my girlfriend or her friends. Definitely not the best ending, but it worked out all right for me.
I would like to say he's in a very healthy relationship with clear trauma from his side and her understanding. I think that is a very, like, I'm listening to this, I was like, oh, like as you were saying, like their conversation, I was like, wait, but I didn't think I literally was like, oh my God, that was such a healthy conversation that he had with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And him hearing her or like understanding her and her understand that was wild. Cause at first I saw myself judging and I was like, why is he mad at her for not doing anything, but like not telling him, but like she was drunk. But then I like thought about, I'm like, okay, like I kind of get it. And then like, just like and she said, I should have, and like, that's just, I'm baffled right now. I love seeing like healthy conversations and relationships like that. That's beautiful.
And it's funny too, because I feel like in reflecting in how all of it went down, the girlfriend even saying like, yeah, I should have just like told you that that's what happened, and it actually kind of made me look shady that I didn't. That even helps, because sometimes just like taking responsibility for things like that helps clear up the conversation like completely.
And it wasn't like she did anything wrong.
Completely.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
no.
But she was just like, yeah, that I do see like that could be something, that you would want to hear because of your past, like, so that reassure that I didn't do anything. But like, yeah, I get that. Look at Reddit just teaching, Reddit out here just teaching us all the things.
Always. Reddit is we're always learning so much from Reddit, and that is why I love it so much. There's so much to learn. Like, that's such a good example of clear, open communication and people just, being honest and actually being clear and kind, which is exactly what I'm always saying I want people to do. Just be clear, be open, be honest. And also part of that is like the boyfriend having a moment to be like, I might be overreacting.
Processing before speaking instead of just.
Yeah, but still addressing it. Because, like, even if you are overreacting, it is so much better to say to your partner, I might be overreacting. And if I am, I'm so sorry, but I have to say something because it's sitting on my brain and I just need to get it out. Because I would so much rather know what my partner, even if they are overreacting, I would rather know what their anxiety is so that I know where their mind's at versus don't leave me in the dark. Don't leave me guessing on things that have made you uncomfortable. It's just going to keep adding and adding and adding.
Correct. Absolutely. I just had this conversation with Caleb yesterday.
Was he having a similar thing where he wasn't being clear?
And then it was something with me because he wasn't telling me thing. And I was like, Caleb, you are lucky I love you because I would throat punch you right now.
Yeah. Yeah. But doesn't it feel better to just I would just rather someone tell me because then we can address it and squash it. It's so much worse to have resentment built.
Exactly. And that's why I was like, I'm more of a face-to-face person. If I do have something to say, if I care about you enough, I want to say it to your face. We're gonna have this conversation. I was like, texting, you can get lost in the sauce. If I care about you, we're doing this face to face and we're gonna have a conversation. And
texting also, you read your own tone into it, and that could be tricky.
Yeah, I'm like, I need you guys to learn how to say haha. Put an emoji, please.
Sprinkle some exclamation points and smileys
in there. Give me something. You know my brain, you know who I am as a person. If you don't, then maybe we shouldn't be friends. I need a little
even a voice note is
That's
better.
what I said. I'm gonna I love when you guys send me voice notes because I can hear your inflection. And I know I don't have that issue with you ever. You just don't respond to me because you're you. But with some people, I'm like, will you please add an emoji? Because it sounds like you're pissed and I don't have time for that.
Sounds like you fucking hate me.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't have time for that. I'll fight you right now. You want to go on the street? So yeah, I do like seeing the healthy communication in all forms. I think that's really that was a beautiful. Listen, I'm sorry to John, but I'm glad that he got out of that.
And it's another moment of rejection being redirection. You're being redirected away from a person who's not feeling fully committed to you, and that's okay.
And she's gonna learn. She's gonna grow from this, hopefully. Yeah. And he'll go find someone who won't cheat on him.
Yeah, for sure. And I think when I think about the times where I've been super, super in love with my partner, I could give a shit who comes up to me and tries to I can't even think of who would be the ultimate person to come up to me and be run away with me.
Kristen Stewart. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it would be, as I was saying it, I was like, it's Kristen Stewart.
I know, but if Kristen could come up to you and whisk you away.
Right. I love her. But if Kristen Stewart did come up to me right now, I think I still would be
do you want to join?
Yeah, literally.
I think he'd be fine with that. I think he'd be fine with that.
I think he would consider it. I think he would strongly consider it. I think he would. Yeah, he would be fine. Actually, he'd be fine with it.
Yeah, no, I know.
He'd be fine with it.
I don't even know the man. Yeah, I know that.
He'd be fine with it. Okay, so let's get into our next story. Right. Okay, I am really sad because there was one from the Am I the Asshole Reddit, and the title of it was Am I the Asshole for ignoring my boyfriend's texts for 3 hours just to have me time? And that is such a perfect story for you, Jasmine, actually, and for me. And moderators removed it. And I'm so heartbroken about it because I wanted to read that story so badly. And it was on Reddit when I put it in my notes 2 hours ago. Insane. But we have some other ones, so it is quite all right. The next one we have is from Am I Overreacting? Am I overreacting? My boyfriend might leave me because I cried over my deceased ex. This conversation happened yesterday, and 2 days ago was my ex's 3rd anniversary of his death. Me and him were best friends since we were 11 and ended up dating at 16 until 18 when he died. The current guy I'm dating is the first guy I've been in a relationship since. And before anyone comes at me saying I'm awful for getting into a relationship while still having feelings for another person, that isn't the case at all. I understand my boyfriend can be hurt by what happened, but is it really enough for him to leave me over it? I'm kind of lost. Am I overreacting or is he? And they included screenshots of their conversation. So in the screenshots, her boyfriend said, yesterday has been bothering me a lot. You crying over your ex really threw me off. And she says, I'm really sorry about that. I was overwhelmed with old emotions since yesterday marked the anniversary of my ex's death. And he said, I know, but I feel since you are in a new relationship, you should be over that. And then he said, I'm questioning your love for me. She said, my love for you is real. I don't want this coming in between us. You can't expect me not to mourn someone's death. I'm sorry, but it really doesn't work like that. And he said, I might have to rethink what I'm getting myself into. I'm going to go home after work. And she said, can you just come home after? We could talk about this instead of letting it linger. And he said, no.
Okay, bye.
So, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely not. I would break up with him.
I would break up with him too.
Expeditiously. Are you kidding me? The man, you're jealous of a dead man.
Of a person who is dead. You're lying.
You're lying.
You're lying.
Like, it doesn't, for me, that doesn't, and she's being, first of all, so nice, so gracious to even like respond to this insanity of emotions on a literal anniversary of someone who she had known since she was 11.
Yep. Yeah. And then dated. And then dated for 2 years. There is OP posted a little bit further down and said the relationship only ended because he died. And my boyfriend did know about it before we started dating because he had asked me about my past relationships.
So it wasn't even it's not even an ex. Like, that's her boyfriend just died. Correct? Like, they didn't break up. He died.
Yeah. That's someone responded to her clarification there and said, this might sound like a stupid point, but I don't think you should refer to him as your ex. No. That implies someone that you may have largely been over when he died. You're more like a widow that lost a spouse.
But even still, that doesn't mean that
they wouldn't refer to them as an ex.
That doesn't take away from the fact that she can and should and will move on, and that she's in a different place. Like, literally, Leah Michelle is a perfect example of this. I know people love to hate that woman, but her and Corey Monty, like, he passed away. She literally mourns his death every single year of the anniversary, and she is married with children.
Yeah.
Just that was a bit, like, you know what I mean? That's a part of your heart right there. And grief comes in all forms for however long it needs to last. Like, I guess it would be different if she was crying every single day. Okay. Maybe then you could be like, maybe you're not ready. But again, the attitude he's coming at her with, I do not like. Especially if it sounds like it was just the anniversary where she just got emotional remembering what day it was.
Yeah.
Every day, maybe
she only passed away 3 years ago.
This is and she sounds young if he was 18.
Yeah, because
so he's probably 21. Young, and he's probably very immature.
He's really, really immature. Really immature. I mean, I guess though at 21, that's probably the level of maturity that you have access to, but his behavior is immature, and he's she needs. This is not a person who is willing to like be sensitive and caring.
There's no empathy there at all. Wasn't even a good approach to it. There wasn't even a good approach to saying, like, oh, like yesterday just like kind of threw me a little bit. Like, I understand. There's no understanding of death, of grief that she's going through. It was more just accusatory. You don't love me because you have grief for a man who's dead, who you literally were dating when he died. Psychotic.
Right.
She needs to immediately, without question, break up with this man. Yep. You are better by yourself.
100%. This is also like, in a way, it's good that you know this now. Right. You know that this is a person who will not put your needs above his own. He won't. So good. Wow. You got it out of the way.
Wow.
And fuck that guy, and I'm so sorry.
Ugh.
One of the other comments in this says grief doesn't ask for permission, and that I think is so well put. Like, grief comes and goes. Like, it doesn't ask for permission. It does its own thing. And this person is meant to be your partner. Like, what are you supposed to do? Hide it to protect their feelings? You're literally grieving someone who died.
Especially, it's the freaking anniversary. Like,
yeah, fuck this guy.
It is absolutely acceptable anytime, because again, we don't know when to expect it. But on the end, please be so for real. Be so for real.
Be so fucking for real. Fuck him. Get him out.
Listen,
give him the boot.
You just got witness to 2 different communication styles within a relationship, and I need you guys to remember which one's better.
Yep. Wow. Great point. Okay. This next one is more fun.
Okay. Are we ending with the fun one?
We're ending with the fun one.
Okay.
Okay. So This one came from r/relationship advice, and the title is Help Getting My Shy Boyfriend Freaky. Male 26, female 26. Looking for advice on how to get my shy, sweet, nerdy boy fiance to enjoy sex and intimacy. It's like he's stuck being the nice guy and won't get freaky. I love this story because I know that this is not going to be the only person who's having this experience. We are both 26. I took his virginity at 20. He's the classic nerdy engineer type, borderline autistic, super hot, but has no idea, very low confidence / self-awareness of how attractive he is. He was bullied growing up for being Asian and the nerdy kid. Meanwhile, I'm more indie type, creative kind of girl, very outgoing socially. As they say, opposites attract. I love how sweet and shy he is, and he loves how crazy and loud my personality is. Our personalities carry into the bedroom. He loves when I pounce on him because otherwise we would never have sex. It is very vanilla. He does not initiate. We actually broke up for a few years before we reconnected and got engaged, and I was shocked to discover he never moved on romantically or sexually. I'm the only girl he's ever been with in any capacity. Part of me hoped he would have experimented at least a little with either dating or hookup culture. To be clear, I'm an absolute freak compared to him. I've done it all with multiple partners. To be clear, he does enjoy sex when we have it, but only under strict guidelines. He only wants me to ride him. When I'm on top, he has a huge grin on his face and is very excited. He says it reminds him of our first time. It's really cute. When I took his virginity, I rode him the entire time because he was super nervous. With this in mind, sometimes I've wondered if he wants me to take it a step further and borderline give dominatrix vibes. Maybe he wants me to be in charge. While this was romantic at first, now we've been together for years, I'm a little tired of doing all the work. The cute factor of how innocent he is compared to me is still precious to me, but look, I am a grown woman that wants to be railed.
Say it, sister.
Period. I want to be desired. I don't want it to be sweet lovemaking every single time. I also don't want to be the one in charge every single time. It would be another story if that was the plan and the kinky part. Oh, I see. Okay. But I don't know if he'd even be receptive to it based on how shy he is and vanilla so far. Before you ask, yes, we've talked about it. He always seems grossed out by the idea of him being handsy with me or perverted in any capacity. It's as if he's caught up in being the nice guy. Sure, I'm grateful he's a gentleman, but there's also a part of me that wants him to be slutty with me. He literally says he feels like a monkey and it kills the mood for him. He doesn't eat me out either. I recently surprised him with a full lingerie set and that worked wonders. He was instantly turned into a dog when he saw me. Again, though, wanted me to ride him the entire time so he could look at me. I would try to switch positions, but he'd just find a way to pin me back on top of him. Help, y'all.
I feel like he needs to read a good smut book. Like, we just need to get him a nice little spicy novella. So he can see that you can be the nice guy, but also have this like animal instinct, this animal attraction to your partner. I just read In a Jam, and it's like a big one that people were, like raving about, and it took me a while to read it, to start reading it. And that's what it's giving. Like, he was like the nice, like nerdy guy when he was younger, but he had these like animal instincts inside of him. And it's okay because as long as you are open and there's communication, obviously, with what, boundaries and limits and stuff like that, which it sounds like she just wants you to do something.
Anything.
It's interesting the verbiage she's using when she's saying like he doesn't feel a certain way about, like, he doesn't. I feel like it's gonna be hard to switch him over if he like is like adamant that like he can't, that doesn't do it for him. Oh god. And like even her trying to flip around, and he just like
I know. So I love the idea of giving him some inspo, some like the smut, or even watching porn together.
I don't know
I recommend
if you could handle that.
I know. I think he needs to watch something that might be like either Alyssa or Cheeks, where it's like ethically made and many times made with like the female gaze in mind, because that is a lot softer, a lot more like gentle in its approach. And so I think that might be a really good idea for him, to give him ideas just of stuff that he can try. And when you're watching it, that's a good opportunity to also be like, oh, I would love to try this. Like, let's give this a try. Like, you as his partner can say, this is something I'm interested in. And another thing that is interesting and came up in the comments is using positive reinforcement, which is in general a really helpful way to give feedback in all kinds of sexuality stuff. Like, even if you are with a partner that you're trying to like guide into doing the things that you enjoy, doing it in a way of like, I love when you do this, that feels so great, that kind of stuff. Positive guidance is really helpful. And this one commenter was recommending doing, trying different positions, but then giving him a lot of praise in that to hopefully reframe how he's viewing those things. So like this commenter had said, using the phrase like, you're doing such a good job for me, I love seeing you work hard for me, that kind of stuff, so that he's not feeling like, he used the word a monkey, which is crazy.
Right.
Like, where we need to figure out how to like reframe what that is. And it might even be worth having a few sessions with a sex therapist, like going once a month for like a couple of months and just see what comes up.
I think that would benefit.
Because I think so.
I think it's a lot
like,
here
there's a
too.
lot.
You know what I mean? It's a lot up here in the brain that he's actively fighting against, it seems. That it might just not be
right, exactly,
easily reversed. It might need a little bit professional help, just a little.
Yeah. And I also am curious too, like what his sex drive is like, because if he does have enough of a sex drive where she can tease him, like she can like make out with him in the morning, send him like a slutty text in the middle of the day, but then like have him sort of come to her. If there's a way that she can like leverage the situation where she's creating excitement in whatever intimacy they're going to share, but really forcing him to like take the lead in what that's going to look like.
Yeah. And I would wonder if those like the positive reinforcements and affirmations when it comes to the things, not even just inside the bedroom, but like just around the house. Like, what if you like sat on his lap, or he came up behind you when you were in the kitchen, or you like sat on the counter, just like different things of like different like scenarios. You'd be like, oh no, wouldn't it be fun if we, and just like see that reaction just a little bit. Like, I bet you would be so good at like da-da-da.
Yeah,
but again, I
agree.
do think that he might just need to rewire a little bit. So he might have been taught like that was just nothing. Like, you can't, no, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't. That's bad. That's what it's almost giving. He's not saying it, but it's almost giving that. Like, you think you're a monkey? That's
it's like a little shame.
Yeah, that's what it's giving.
I think that's playing in his head. I also wonder, you bringing up like being in different areas of their home reminded me that it could also be the context that they're having sex in is the same thing. Like, they're in their bedroom and they might be like, when they make out, it's the same sort of make out. It's the same kind of foreplay. And then they go into their bedroom. It's like you're playing out the same script and you need to like break that pattern. And so it could even be helpful to try and initiate having sex like in the kitchen. Have sex on the kitchen counter. It's your house. Or in like, rent a hotel room or something like that. Like, change the context. And changing the context seems to have helped, because when she put on lingerie, that changed the context of the situation enough that it seems to make a difference. So it could just be that he's stuck in playing out like sort of a script of what he is assuming their sex should be, which she did bring up that he might be autistic or like borderline autistic.
Right.
And sometimes scripting is a helpful tool for people who are neurodivergent, and specifically people who are autistic. And so they'll follow like specific scripts, like mental scripts of like, this happens and this happens and this happens. And it just helps them like navigate situations better that might not feel intuitive to them. So I think changing the context and forcing him to shuffle around what that script could be is also helpful.
And that's smart.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot. And then like, I know she said she's married or getting married, right?
Fiance. Yeah. He's stuck being the nice guy.
Listen,
but I also think that it's so funny because she's saying that she wants him to be freaky. And I wonder like what her her opinion of freaky is if they're having literally only one position of sex. I'm like, our opinions of freaky are going to be really different. And I'm so curious what she's looking for.
Because like obviously it would have to be a gradient to which, we couldn't go like 0 to 100 if it was like she was actually talking about freaky. But if it's like literally just like switching up the positions a little bit and that's her freaky.
Probably doable. Yeah. I am interested in if she'll ever get him to go down on her. I think that is a situation for a sex therapist or sex coach to talk to him about because there's something there.
Right.
There's something there. And it could just be he just hasn't done it enough and he's not comfortable. Because I'm sure like the first couple of times it feels weird and maybe it even seems gross. Like I remember the first times that I ever did oral, I was like, yuck,
You know me. I'm like, very stressful.
So, maybe he's just not used to it yet. But it also could be like maybe there's some bigger conversations around like what his views of sex are and a therapist or a coach can help him dig into that, like who he is as a sexual being and how he views sex with himself and a partner.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's the best course. At least one little meeting just to see.
Yeah, I think so. Just to see like what comes up. And if he has a therapist and they aren't talking about this, then they should be. And a sex therapist will be specially trained to have those conversations in like a very sensitive and accepting way, open way. So yeah, I think that's really interesting. And I'm sure that she's not the only person who's experiencing this.
Absolutely not.
She needs to get a subscription to or membership to either Alyssa or Cheeks or Dipsy, like something where there's some sort of erotica that like is going to inspire him and give him other ideas, and specifically ones where they have the female gaze sort of at the center of it because it's like a little different. I mean, it's very different in some cases. So I don't know.
And then she can also kind of tailor that to things that she would like to do. So she can watch it and be like, okay, no, I want this. You know what I mean?
Have you ever done that before? Have you ever watched porn with a partner and then been like, I want to do that?
No.
I think you must.
First, we have to find a partner, honey.
Yeah, no, you're right.
We have a few steps to get to.
You're right. But it's fun. And it's like, it gives you fun ideas. And it's also like horny to watch.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it's good foreplay too.
No, absolutely. I would not be against it. I just have to find someone to do that with.
And you will. It's around the corner. I feel it.
I have been like dreaming a little bit more vividly about my person. So I'm just like waiting for me to like really see it. Like every time I wake up, I'm like, I can't remember what they look like, but it's like, I'm getting closer. It's almost like
you're like manifesting it.
It's like I'm like super close. Not there yet. I'm almost seeing it.
Interesting.
I'm like, just let me see him. So close.
Oh my God. Wow. Well, I loved those Reddit stories. And in future episodes, we're going to read in future episodes and actually in some of our past episodes that are on the Patreon, you can listen to us answering some advice questions. But we knew we were going to have a little bit of a yappy episode today where we like really gave some updates on what's going on. And in future episodes, we'll do some confessions, we'll do some advice, and it's going to be so great. So make sure that you check out the Patreon, patreon.com/afterhourspodcast to get our little test episodes and our drunk episode.
Oh, yeah.
You can also follow us on TikTok.com. Go to TikTok.com.
You little boomer. A little boomer over there.
Open your Safari, go to TikTok.com. Oh my God.
And that is After Hours Podcast. All one word,
After
no
hours.
Spaces. And remember O, not H, like Alyssa is.
Not O, not H. Oh my God. And then Instagram is After Hours_podcast. O, not H. And yeah, follow us on all of the things. We're going to keep you updated on when we upload new episodes, when we get stuff up on the Patreon. And I think that's all that we got for you today.
I think so. I feel like we did a really good job.
I feel like our main takeaways are date people who like you.
Yes. Communication is very important, especially within a relationship. You see that within those last Reddit episodes. Articles? Stories?
I don't know. Stories. Clear as kind, as Brene Brown says.
Yes. And within some of our Yap sessions, I feel like the communication is just it'll always be an underlying, very important topic with any relationship you have in life. So make sure you clearly communicate, and empathy. Lead with empathy.
Lead with empathy and watch porn with your partner. We will see you in the next one.
How do we want to end that?
Bye.
No? How do we want to end it?
I don't know. Do we have a way? Do we want to end it?
Hope you enjoyed what you got after. No, I'll try to think of that. Thanks for coming to After Hours. I don't know. What do you think?
Thanks. Just be like, thanks for listening to After Hours.
We can always
see
come
you next
up.
time. Yeah. Okay, do you want to say it? You say it.
Okay. Thanks for listening to After Hours, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.